The only illumination that you seek is to awaken to who you are, to your importance, to why you're in the world, what you're meant to achieve and accomplish. And that would be the moment that you awaken. And you could be feeling it today on November 5th, because there's an energy that's moving that could cause you to awaken to that. And it's also a super full moon. But more importantly, I can awaken to who I am today, because my life was meant to help you awaken to who you were meant to become. We each have something that we're meant to do. We're given something that we're meant to bring into the world. Sometimes we can ignore that, deny it, or think that we screwed everything up and it's never going to happen, and you could have felt that way, and I'm telling you that's never true. You're still here to do it, and it's probably occurring for you now. All the things that you thought you messed up, you didn't do before, or you were being doomed in some way, no, you're here now to make this change. And you're doing that because the world is changing. That's why you were born, and there's a mission that you had. And it's awakening to you now. And that's why I'm here to help you. But if you look at my site, Any Advice for Today, you will see illumination could occur today. That is if we decide to accept ourselves. And I couldn't do that for the longest time. I spent my life hiding from myself, denying who I was, feeling completely out of place, something is wrong with me, only to discover, no, there was nothing wrong. I was attempting to find myself, as we all are. That's what we do. There's a process that we move through in our life of self-actualization, of personal development, however you think of it, but it's a process and it's ongoing. And sometimes we will do that in different ways. But it's all about one thing. It's about consciousness. How do you think about yourself? How do you feel about who you are? And that's something we have to look at each and every day. So it's a constant process that we're moving through, and sometimes we won't do that. I resisted for so many years, most of my life. But that was the path that I chose. But you find out also, whatever path you chose, there's always a benefit there when you decide to stop and look at yourself and become illuminated to your brilliance. And we all have it. And that's the thing that I was meant to bring to the world. And I posted something yesterday, might not have made sense. You know, you don't expect your life to give you a life-changing philosophy, but mine did. And that is the illumination that I must talk about. We don't understand certain things about our life because they're always evolving. We don't know who we could become. It's a continual evolution that occurs in our consciousness, but we decide how much we're going to allow ourselves to understand or accept. We can look at our world now and think that it's all happening accidentally or something's going wrong, and it isn't, because there is an organization to that as well. And even today, when you start seeing so much about November 5th, why would that be important, or why would it matter? And I can say, well, for me, it's because it's my father's birthday. And I can remember him at the end of his life, where he was had tried so much to get this one thing going, this business, and he had this room where he had all these papers. And I go, am I doing the same thing? Because I have all these papers. But no, it turned into something different. See, because we're moving through a generational change, so we're supposed to do far more than whatever our ancestors could have done. And that's what I was given. Because what I was given was something that could cause you to know exactly who you were, live this great life, and more people would do that. And then the world would change if that could happen. That made no sense to me, and I doubted it, and I ran from it. I said it couldn't have possibly happened, and that's the thing that we all do. We will look at the thing that we believe we're meant to do in this world, and we say, nope, it's not us, can't do it. And then we'll argue with ourselves, and I did that forever. But now I have something that you can understand it, because it's all been published as well. There's an organization of energies and movement in our world that we all participate in. We don't always understand it, but Wilhelm gave us a new way of looking at it. And as you look at the information, because I'm going to give that to you, it's on the site, on the message, Illumination could occur today, depending on if we decide to move out of the shadows and accept ourselves. And it starts with this. I talked about this being a quantum philosophy, and that never made sense to me, but it will make sense to more of us today. So when you look at this document, why Wilhelm's work could change our world, because it says every single person has worth and value, and a DNA that is meant to do something. It's an energetic code that's within each person. We just figured that out at different times. And then for today, this one is the philosophy of innate knowing. And that's going to really talk about what is the energies of this day. And then this one is Wilhelm's quantum philosophy that talks about it. Why it came about was something I could not have known. You do not know what you have developed that's within you. It's still developing as long as you're alive. But then the other thing is you're going to see that there's an organization. This was done on November 4th, 2021. It was a live session, but it talked about exactly what's going on in our world now. And then this one was even more surprising because it was done on a new moon in 2023, and if you listen to that, it explains what's happening today and where we are and what we could be doing to change our lives and change the world. I never studied astrology or anything like that, but what Wilhelm did was show us the interaction between our births, who we are, the world, and all of the events that are occurring, and our contribution. There's an energetic contribution that we each make, and that depends on if we move through our old limitations and beliefs and doubts. In 2021, when it was revealed to me that I was given this work, I said it couldn't have possibly happened. And they said, we've given you something that could change your world because it would give each person the ability to understand who they are and live this wonderful life. They just have to move through the doubts and fears. And then I had to move through it all. And you'll hear that on those videos because it healed every aspect of me. I didn't understand why it was happening. And then when they told me that if I were to meet someone, that I would have a message that I was given in 2012, that made no sense. Then you see there's an energetic connection, and there's something called the law of attraction. Well, we don't understand, but it's energetic. We're continually figuring out things about energy and consciousness, and I was given a new way through Wilhelm. And the result is it causes healing because you become aligned. And as you read the document of Wilhelm's philosophy, it explains all of that. Now, we're not all going to do the same thing. I certainly didn't know this was going to be my life, but then you'll also see in the document that it was showing that energetically it was what I was destined to do. And even though I resisted it, years ago I said I was the reluctant mystic because I wasn't going to do this or talk about it. But I can no longer hide because I've seen what is there, and I've seen what it can do for others, and you'll hear that in the testimonials from the people who have done this work. But I'm like everyone else. I had stopped. And so this is the day that I am becoming my illuminated self and accepting it, and I'm completing all of the work. And I'll be talking about this in West Virginia in a couple of weeks, actually. November 14th, this session starts, and I will be talking about Wilhelm's work because it says every single person has this unique blueprint that they're meant to uncover, a timeline that happens for them, and this work will show you why. Now, again, from the person who feared themselves my entire life, thought I was out of my mind. I thought this couldn't possibly happen. And then I see, oh, wait a minute, this thing could change the world. And this is the thing I needed to explain to everyone, because what is your work about? It's a combination of personal development, self-actualization, ascension, whatever you think of. It uses all the mind processes. It uses your state, because that's the everything is your state of mind, your mindset. That is a process as well. We start to understand that, and energy and the whole bit, and that's how we get mind-body healing. And all of that was given to me, and I lived it. And so that's why I can say that I know it works. I turned 75, and everything that I thought was a difficulty is going in the other direction, which is why I know I must complete this and give it to others, because so many more of us could do this. And as that document said, this is one of the greatest contributions to consciousness development because it's never been done before. And as you look at the first message on today from 2008, that's a cycle again. And that message shows you exactly where we could start thinking about ourselves and asking to be the people we could become. That's what it is. So that is the illumination, and that's what I needed to give you today, because this is what my life has given me, is this philosophy that could change our world, because it causes any person to become who they're meant to be and fulfill that potential. And you'll understand all of that in the documents. See you soon.